Now, let us turn our attention to sports. Passing the ball over to you, Tristen.
The UTRGV men and women's basketball teams competed at the WAC openers last week, only to get the door slammed shut. But when one door closes, another one opens. And for UTRGV athletics, that was the official commencing of construction of the Vaqueros Performance Center last Tuesday in Edinburgh.
UTRGV President Guy Bailey and Texas Women's Hall of Famer Val La Mancha took the first dig in the dirt for the Vaqueros Performance Center, which will feature an academic success center named after Bailey and La Mancha. UTRGV football head coach Travis Bush says the commitment from the university's leadership to the future of the athletics programs will place them on top.
Again, knowing that the plans were in place to make this thing first class, and we had the leadership and the university behind it. And then the third reason is the Rio Grande Valley, and to come down here, and it's always been a special place for me, and to have the opportunity to give back to these communities and be able to start football here for the first time, it's been good.
Completion of construction of the Vaqueros Performance Center is set to coincide with the start of football season in the fall of 2025. Now, bouncing onto the court. The UTRGV men and women's basketball teams took back-to-back losses against Grand Canyon University last week.
The UTRGV Vaqueros men's basketball team fell to the Grand Canyon Lopes 79-69 at the UTRGV Fieldhouse last Wednesday. Junior Hassan Abdul Hakim led the Vaqueros and scored a career-high 21 points during the game. Some big moments caught the eyes of fans in the stands, like junior Elijah Elliott's 2 3-pointers that fired up the start of the second half. Abdul Hakim was able to trip up the Lopes with 5 free throws and a series of layups near the last minutes of the second half that pushed the Vaqueros closer to the Lopes. The crowd tried to give some encouragement, but was left cold by the Lopes' persistence with near-perfect free throws and outpacing the Vaqueros' defense. With a 10-point chasm by the game's end, the Vaqueros continue their losing streak following the Acrisure Invitational in November.
The Vaqueros men's basketball team continued the WAC series with a match against Tarleton State on Saturday. To view those results, visit goutrgv.com. Now, moving on to the other side of the court. The Vaqueros women's basketball team went toe-to-toe with the Grand Canyon Lopes as well, only on the Lopes' home turf.
The game's final score reached 63-50 last Wednesday, with Grand Canyon maintaining a lead that carried from a 10-point uninterrupted run at the start. The women's team faced the same defensive struggle as the men's team while also playing on unfamiliar ground. For the Vaqueros, the loss adds to a streak continuing since the start of basketball season in November, 0-6 as of the Grand Canyon match. The women put up a fight regardless, with junior Kate Hackerott scoring 13 points and 7 rebounds for the Vaqueros. Hackerott and junior Ariana Sturdivant put up the strongest effort in fending off the Lopes, with Sturdivant combining free throws, 3-pointers, and a total of 10 points throughout the game to help keep the Vaqueros' momentum going. Nevertheless, the Lopes were unbothered by these attempts as their 4 double-figure scorers outdid the best efforts of the Vaqueros.
The Vaqueros women's basketball team continued the WAC series as well with a match against Tarleton State on Saturday. The men and women's basketball teams, however, will play their next games against Texas A&M Corpus Christi in the South Texas Showdown on December 5th. Those have been the UTRGV sports highlights for the week. For KVAQ TV, I'm Tristen Cortez, tossing it back to you, Alba.